Good morning and welcome to your sport update right here on Dominion Television. This is Dominion Sport. We begin from African football, where tensions continue to rise as CAF faces scrutiny over the situation involving Morocco and Senegal. The controversies have sparked major conversations across the football world. Football is won on the pitch, but today we are asking, can a trophy be decided in the boardroom? In Europe, the UEFA Champions League delivered key results last night with more decisive fixtures lined up for today as team continues their push for qualification. And on basketball court, it was tough outing for the Tigers, who fell 73-81 to Germany women's national basketball team in FIBA Women's World Cup qualifying tournament. Despite the defeat, the tournament serves as a preparation, with the Tigers already securing their place at the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup after emerging champions at the last Afro Basket. And back home, the Nigerian Football Federation has responded to recent development involving FIFA addressing key issues and providing clarity on the situation. Once again, you're welcome, Dominion Sport. I am Paul Abetoluwanimi, and this wonderful morning, I'm not alone in the studio. I have Sanurdin Alimi joining me in the studio this wonderful morning. I know there's so many things to talk about this morning, but let me just ask you, from the UEFA Champions League night of football, down to the final end of the game in the Champions League, we got the report that Morocco, have been handed the AFCON trophy. Good morning to you.
Good morning to Oluwanimi. Good morning, viewers. It's nice to be back here again. And you said it all in your intro. And we were expecting remontada in Champions League from some English sides. Yeah. But Morocco got the remontada via the decision from CAF.
Amazing.
To overturn what happened on the pitch in the boardroom is disappointing, disgraceful, and all manner of ill for me, and it's not something that should be supported or promoted by any association or anywhere in the world. So it's just nice to be back again, and we have loads to delve into. Reviews from yesterday matches, we have review for today games, and for the performance of the Tigers in the qualifying series, we have that to talk about as well. So it's just a full packed show, and I'm ready to do that. All
right, we're ready to talk sport right here. But this morning, I will be diving straight into action, giving you an update from what happened yesterday with CAF, Morocco, and Senegal. Now, let me inform you that this happened in 2025. AFCON has no precedent in football history. Senegal won the final, but a month later, Morocco were declared as champions. Now, Senegal played, versus Morocco in a 2025 final on January the 18th. During the game, Senegal scored a goal wrongly disallowed. And let me inform you that Morocco wins a penalty in the 90+8 minutes, and Senegal players refused to play and walked off the pitch for around 15 minutes. Senegal players came back to the pitch, and Morocco were awarded the penalty. Brahim Diaz stepped on and attempted a penalty, but missed the penalty. A minute later, Papa Gueye scored the winning goal in the 94th minute. After 2 months, Morocco has been officially announced as the 2025 AFCON champions, with the final result overturned by CAF. Now, looking at that on the screen, CAF has appealed. Board decided that in the application of Article 84 of the regulations of the FIFA African Cup of Nations AFCON, the Senegal national team is declared to have forfeited the final match of the Total Energy CAF African Cup of Nations in Morocco 2025, with the result of the match being recorded as a 3-0 in favor of the Federation Moroccan de football right there, known as Morocco. There you have it on the screen, and I have an expert analyst to discuss that with me, Sanurdin Alimi, ready to dissect that situation. Now, a quick one. I want to ask you a few questions. We know about the rules in football. Are we to follow rules in football if this is the standard we're talking about right now?
Yes, the rules are there to be followed, and the Yoruba people will say "Iluti Oloba," Iluti Olofin, Kosijia. The rules are laid down for a reason, and I don't understand the turnaround from CAF and Morocco, and it's disappointing, it's disgraceful for real, because I don't understand why we are overturning the decision of the referee. The referee didn't blow the final whistle during the walk-off. Yes, I agree. The display from the Senegalese players was disgraceful. That's not the way you should prosecute a game, but it was in the heat of a moment, and that can be excused. And as long as the referee didn't blow the final whistle, the match went on after that. The penalty was taken. The referee didn't blow the final whistle. It took months. Why did it take months for this to be resolved? And it's just shady to me. And I think Senegal and all South African countries need to come out and contest against this decision, because this is not just against Senegal. If Morocco can get away with this, it's going to affect, it's an antecedent for loads of series of errors in the African front. So I think this is not a decision affecting Morocco alone. It's a continent as a whole. I can see FAs from Algeria and some other countries coming to the aid of Senegal and saying this is the champion we recognize and all, but that is just all talks. In the official books right now, Morocco have been awarded the result of the match and declared winner of the AFCON competition. So right now, it's not just about going to the boardroom and fighting for a decision. What happens on the football pitch stays on the football pitch. Coming for a turnaround, and it's disgraceful because it's now looking like a pattern from CAF and Morocco, trying to adjudge or give Morocco the competition at all costs. There were questionable calls from referees, from the officiating members throughout the competition, and there were complaints from teams that attended the competition. Right up to the final. The semi-final, we saw what happened against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. There were different antics, dark arts on the world stage, propelled by the Moroccan national team. And to top it off, I think people are not taking into consideration that not just the decision to hand over the trophy to Morocco is what is disturbing here. The fines, the penalties for the players and the association in general. If you read the full statement from CAF, you will notice that they've reduced the fine for the player that aided the disruption of the goal. The ball boys, the fines that was placed on them has been reduced and chalked off. The Moroccan national team, as a whole, their fine has been upheld and dismissed. So it's not just the trophy. It's not just the trophy you're talking about now.
It's everything that has went down.
If our producer can help us and get the whole statement from CAF, it's going to. You would read it, and I read it about 5 times yesterday night when it came out, and I just couldn't grasp the whole bulletin that came out from CAF saying all motion have been upheld and dismissed. That's not it. Why would you come and turn around the decision of referee? And there's a rule that says
so I was asking about that law right now. Now I want to ask you, because I know you're going to talk about that law quickly. Now, if Law 5 gives the referee final authority over the match, on what legal basis can CAF overturn a completed final and award a 3-0 result afterwards?
It's not working anywhere, and I think that is enough for Senegal to build a case against the decision from CAF and say the rule of football says the referee has a permanent issue. Yes, the governing body can come out and make 1 or 2 alterations to events that happen in the game, but not a decision such as the result of the game or overturning a showpiece game. So if this can be overturned, the semi-final games too, other teams too can also go and appeal and get the result in their favor. So
I agree with you, because I know my president is going to get Law 5 of what the referee says. Now, before we get that ready, let me just show you that the authority of the referee, if each match is controlled by the referee, who has full authority to enforce the law of the game in connection with the match. Also, you look at the decisions of the referee. Decisions will be made of the best of the referee's ability according to the law of the game and the spirit of the game, and will be based on the opinion of the referees, who has the direction to take appropriate actions within the framework of the laws of the game. Now, let me inform you that the decisions of the referee regarding the facts are connected with play, including whether or not a goal is scored and the result of the match at the final. The decisions of the referee are all the match officials must always be respected. There you have it on the screen.
That last paragraph alone, the decision of the referee regarding facts connected with play, including whether or not a goal is scored and the result of the match are final. That is enough for me. That paragraph alone is what Senegal should quote to CAF or any other governing body that is going to take the decisive decision over this. And not just that alone. Like I said, I don't want all the focus to be on just Senegal being the champions, Morocco overturning the result of the final. All other decisions that were stated, all other penalties that were handed to Morocco as regards their display at the final should be looked into as well. Because why would you tell me a player disrupted? You almost caught the goalkeeper of the Senegalese team in the final. So we are encouraging violence in the game and dark arts and telling players to go and steal the towels of opponents, point lasers in the faces of players. It's not right. It's not to be done anywhere in the world. And for me, CAF are just showing that this is the way they do things. This is not probably the worst decision they've ever made. In 2010, if you remember, leading to the AFCON in 2010, the Togolese national team were shot and 3 of their players were dead. And CAF sanctioned the team that was mourning the loss of their players because the national team and the country recalled their players and said, this is enough, we need to mourn. And CAF, in their almighty decision in their conquest, said, okay, they are going to fine you for mourning the death of your players. And they were attacked. So I'm not shocked by this situation as much, but it's painful and disgraceful, like I said, showing the world that this is not the way we want to go. This is not it. And everybody's moving towards a direction. And it seems CAF and Motsepe and the disciplinary board and Morocco seem to want to turn around and say this is not where we are going.
I want to ask a question quickly, and this is quite dicey now. CAF is citing a rule here, Nuruddin, and they're saying applying the Article 84 after its final respect. Now, is this undermining the result decided on the pitch? That's my question.
That is undermining and it's not right. For me, that Article 84 says if the team...
But it's a rule.
It's a rule.
And you said that we must follow the rule of football.
We have to follow the rule of football, but at the end of the day, from what you said earlier, IFAB Rule 5, the paragraph we quoted, the referee has decision. The referee was on the pitch. He made the decision to continue the game. He didn't blow the final whistle when the Senegalese players went to the dressing room. And Sadio Mane, the captain of the Senegal, was also on the pitch. So that should also count as something that say, okay, they still have the player on the pitch. Because the rule is if all players leave the pitch.
Not all players left the pitch, actually.
Yes.
Not all players.
Not all players left the pitch. The captain, Sadio Mane, stayed on the pitch up until they were able to bring other players that went to the... So I think that's also a loophole in the decision that CAF made. So for me, Article 84 or that you just quoted now, it's not holding ground. Yes, if players leave the pitch, if the whole of a team leave the pitch, the question now is how many players constitute as a team leaving the pitch to uphold a forfeiture. Because for me, Sadio Mane was still on the pitch, and the rule is if all players leave the pitch is when the opponents can automatically restart the game. And the referee was on the pitch with Sadio Mane and the Moroccan team. And the match went on at the end. The referee didn't blow the final whistle during that confusion. The match went on to extra time. Senegal won the game fair and square. And I think that should be the end of the situation.
I'm going to ask the last question quickly, which is, just like I said in the intro, I said, football is won on the pitch. But today we are asking, can a trophy be decided in the boardroom?
CAF has shown that, but that's not the right way. It is not acceptable anywhere in the world. You can't tell me Arsenal for the 2006 final in Champions League and call it back and say the red card for Henry or Van Persie for the red card for him is not, and say okay we are overturning the decision and saying because of what happened in that game, blah blah.
Does this justify the comment of some European journalists saying the AFCON is not a worthy tournament?
That is what CAF and Motsepe and the disciplinary committee are trying to do. We went from an exemplary officiating at the 2023 AFCON in Ivory Coast. We saw how well it went. Everybody commended the actions of the referees and the whole officiating team. They used VR quite well. The referees on the pitch, everything was spot on. Fast forward to 2025 AFCON in Morocco, everything went to shit. Everything went to shambles. The decision from the referee didn't match that of the VAR. Clear-cut chances or clear-cut decisions were overturned, were overruled, up until the final. And now, post the competition again, you're coming with this saying the deserved winners are not the winners of the team. I don't know where that is done anywhere in the world.
I don't know if my producer can show some comments right there. If you can read some comment from the fans, and while we just wrap up the discussion of this situation, because I want to inform you that Senegal have appealed already to CAF, and
that is the report. Because I'm sorry, the time frame given to them is 24 to 48 hours to appeal decision from us. So, and if they miss that window, that will cause extra problems. Immediately they have to do it, and I'm looking forward to it.
Let's see the comment quickly. Right there. Thank you so much, my producer. Jamie was 100% right when he said AFCON is not a major tournament. Everybody who attacked him should apologize today. And also I can see saying should not have walked off simply so. there's so many comments saying that it should not have worked off simply as that. We don't see that in Euros as we usually, are seeing. Joshua, go ahead.
Like I said when I was delivering earlier, I said it was disgraceful from Senegal. They shouldn't have left the pitch. That is what gave CAF the loophole to come up with this, and the Moroccan team to contest the decision that was set that, okay, the match went on. That was disgraceful. That is not acceptable. I'm not encouraging that. We see that constantly in the MPFL. It's not something we want to see. It's not something we want to project to the world. But so long the referee didn't end the match went on. The penalty was taken and was missed. Senegal got.
So you're holding on to the fact that the law of the referee still
stands. So whatever happens, the boardroom does not have a place or does not have any right to overturn the decision of a match 2 months ago.
So my question now is, so how do you tell the Senegal's players to return the medal, the prize money given to them,
or take off the celebratory videos and pictures down, that's on the internet already, or that's on people's phones. So I don't understand that. It's a slap on CAF's face, and I think CAS or whichever body that gets to settle this tend to put an end to this disgraceful debacle and put an end to it totally.
So now I'm seeing a comment here. Somebody's saying what should have happened is if this rule was in place from the beginning, the game should have never continued and Morocco should have won immediately.
That's what I said. The referee didn't blow the final whistle. So that settles it. If the final whistle had gone and said, this is the final, the Senegalese
and the referee has said, oh, there's a rule in place that states that 10, 15 minutes, the game is cancelled.
The game is cancelled, yes. Morocco deserved winners. Senegal, the accident of their own failure. But now they went off the pitch. The referee allowed that. Came back to the pitch. Allowed that. The penalty went on. The game ended 0-0. Went to extra time, and Senegal got the goal in extra time. So I don't see at that point, at that moment, the referee had all in his power to the end, and that is where the game is settled. Not the boardroom, not the court, not the decision, not the appeal room or anything. Finish the game on the pitch. Whatever decision the referee makes is final. Even when at the time when sanctions were rampant in the Premier League or in the Premiership, if that was the name it was called that time, if the decision the referee took during the game was not satisfactory enough, it was sanctions for the player, not the whole result of the game. Because I remember there are players that got sanctions, that got choked, that got 3 months ban, 2 match ban. Maybe the referee gave a yellow card in place of a red card for a horrendous tackle. It doesn't affect the whole result of the game. The referee, we've seen apologies flying up. Everton got an apology last season for the decision of the referee that affected their points and all. So it's to show you that the referee's decision is final and not on the scoreboard or not on events that happened in the game. The referee blew the game to go on. They took the penalty. They lost. I will still stand on that. They lost the penalty. The game went into extra time. Senegal won in extra time. Square and square. That's the end of the game.
All right. As some fans are saying, at 90 plus 2 months, it took our CAF to come out to speak on this issue. Also, there's so many talk surrounding the WAFCON saying these are just a signs that, we don't understand, the rule of the Moroccan football when it comes to CAF.
For me, I think this is, like I said earlier, this is the time for African countries to come in solidarity and say, we are enough of this. We don't want. Morocco are not the only team from the North African side of Africa to host competitions. Algeria have hosted. Egypt have hosted. Egypt are even the record holders of the AFCON, and I don't think they exploit this. Yes, they have question marks about the way their welfare and the way they
I want to ask: Would the Moroccan stars be excited to lift up this trophy if this stands?
I think. Is shown from the way they prosecuted the competition. Their player literally stole the towel of an opposing goalkeeper. That's to show you how defective or how I don't know how to put it now. I'm trying to censor my words. I'm very hard to.
I can understand. Everybody in the studio is wondering, how did we get here? I can understand that.
These players, they've shown that they always want to pass through the back door or do horrendous things to achieve what they want. So I won't be surprised if you see the likes of Hakimi and his other players excited
Wow,
and celebrating. Yes, I won't be shocked because their display at the AFCON. You should caution the ball boys that were disturbing the
Right.
so it's an internal decision from both the Moroccan board up onto the players and the team. Someone should have the fear of God in them. This is not this is
the fear of God now. Come on, let's just move on, because honestly speaking, if I allow Nuruddin to keep talking about this, we're going to spend the whole day here. But let me inform you that you can be part of the show. Why don't you just drop your comment to the situation surrounding CAF, Senegal, and Morocco? Trust me, it is appalling. We cannot find the right words for it. But you can drop your own 2 cents on the conversation right now and let's know what you're talking about. And definitely, my producer will alert me if you have comments so we can read out right here. Now, quickly, Azizat Oshoala is saying in CAF book, not in our book. That's coming through from Azizat Oshoala saying, it's not in our book. In our book, it's Senegal, but in CAF book, come on, go ahead and talk about Morocco.
That is not enough.
It's not enough.
They don't get the chance to write history in our faces. It's not right. It should not be done anywhere.
All right.
I think we should just move past that and treat other stories.
All right, beautiful. All right, let's talk about the match day 11 games to look forward to.
You want to skip the Nigerian NFF and FIFA?
No, it's part of the story. It's part of the story. I don't. I know you're all tensed up, with the situation, but let's just talk about the NWFL quickly. Let's look at, what's happening in that side of the story this wonderful morning, as we have games to look forward to on Wednesday. There you have it on the screen. Thank you so much. Adamawa Queens are going to face Ekiti Queens. We have Paysata Queens against Ibom Angels. We have Atlant Queens against Edo Queens. We have Nigeria Tales against Rivers Angel. We have so much games to look forward to, most especially the game between Atlant Queens and Edo Queens. Also, we have games to look forward to, as we have games from the Abia Angels also taking key actions against Remo Star Lady. One game to look forward to in Aba. We have the Confluence Queens against FC Robo Queens. We have Sunshine Queens against Delta Queens. We have Nasarawa Amazons facing the Danas Ladies. Those are the games to look forward to when it comes to the NWFL today. Now let's talk about another story surrounding the world of FIFA. That is Iran negotiating with FIFA to move World Cup matches out of the United States. Nuruddin, we got a report last week. We were here together saying Iran has pulled out of the competition when it comes to FIFA, and now we're getting a report again just yesterday that they're negotiating with FIFA to move the World Cup away from the United States. Now, the reason being because most of the matches are in the United States. Remember, the competition is hosted by 3 countries, United States, Mexico, and Canada. And they're saying if we can have most of the matches, are played in Mexico. But I think that's boiled down to other teams that you're playing with. What if, they're not coming to terms to say, we want to move away from the United States to come play in Mexico?
That's a very big one. And the situation in the Middle East is affecting a lot of sports, not just football alone. For this now, over the weekend, the Grand Prix for Formula One in the Middle East, 2 of them are Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. Both have been shifted due to the tension surrounding that. And stemming from last week, we had the statement from Iran saying they are threatening to pull out of the World Cup. And it's understandable. The statement from the President of the United States is not something you would want to listen to as an Iranian. Okay, he said, yes, they can come, but they're not guaranteeing their safety. It's not what you want to see. Football is harmonizing, and with all this, it's pushing towards a shift in the World Cup because everybody needs to put their house in order. And before the Iranians actually raised this situation, for me, there have been question marks about USA. The gun violence has sparked up over the past couple of months, and yes, it doesn't make it to the news as much as you want because of the media censoring and all. What is the safety of athletes and tourists that want to come and enjoy the World Cup? This is not what we want to see on the world stage, and for FIFA, this is a very big headache for them. They need to find a situation around it. Now, like you mentioned, the teams that are to play Iran that are already booked already prepared themselves and their team for the games that will be held in the USA. How would they take this news, or how would they take this appeal from Iran saying they want to move out of that? And that's a whole lot of new dynamo opening up, and it's not something I want to see or something the world wants to see right now. We just want a lasting peace and everything should go back to the way it was. Everybody should live in harmony and everybody should live in peace.
All right. Let's move away from the situation reports surrounding Iran, and we hope that they come to a solution surrounding the situation right there. Maybe moving away from USA and bringing it back to Mexico is the best decision for them. I'm sure FIFA.
But Mexico is not also safe generally. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had this cartel and special forces.
And there are speculations around even the World Cup at this point in time.
That's what I'm saying. So this is a very big one for FIFA right now. There are headaches. Only Canada seems to be settled amongst the 3 countries that are co-hosting the tournament. The USA is fighting a war in the Middle East. Mexico, they have internal crisis. Yeah. So it's not looking good right now. And with the World Cup months away, if this had happened maybe early last year or middle of last year, okay, there might be contingent plans to, mitigate the factors that come out of it and say, okay, this is how we're going to think about it, this is how we're going to go about this. We're going to change some games, we're going to change some venues, we need to beef up security and all this, we need to mop up this out as fast as possible. But right now, months to the event, the PR rollout has started. We see Canada advertising their beautiful cities, Mexico one way or the other, trying to showcase tourist attractive sites for people to visit when they come to the country. The US also talking about it. We saw them host the World Cup tournament.
The Club World Cup.
The Club World Cup, and even the trophy itself is already in the US. It took a tour of the United States to attract people and say, okay, this is what is happening later this year and all. Right now, with the situation, with the war, internal crisis and all, big headache for FIFA. There's pressure on them now. And I know there are meetings upon meetings to try and sort it out, and we hope for the best in the coming days.
All right, we hope for the very best in the coming days. Let's move swiftly because of our time and talk more sport updates right here on the go, and that's coming through from the world of basketball. The Tigers, remember, lost to Germany right there yesterday. But let me inform you that despite the defeat, the qualifying tournament has served as a preparation for the Tigers, who have already secured a place at the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup after emerging champions the last FIBA Women's Afro Basketball Championship. If you can have the result yesterday, just like I said, it's just a preparation. But now I'm sure Wakama can see the weakness and strength of the players. Some players are already retired. We need to bring in the newbies to come into shape and also have chemistry going into this tournament. For you, what are the pros and cons you were able to take out of this tournament?
For me, the pros, the gap between the stronger sides or the strongest sides in basketball and the Nigerian side or the African side is closing. We saw Nigeria go head-to-head with South Korea. Yes, they lost with 11 points at the end of the day. Yesterday was against Germany. They were level on point in the third quarter. So I think now they need to focus more on the clossing parts of the game, the last quarter of the game. I think they need to...
The same way they did so against France.
Against France. So you can see, I think the loss against France, I think, was the biggest margin. So that's to show you that they're getting something right. Things are improving. If it was 2-3 years ago, the margin of defeat was always too much. The players couldn't compete, but now they're getting closer and they're going toe-to-toe with the heavyweight, with the big guns. So this is something that was encouraging for me. And the cons, yes, the defeat was disheartening. We would love to see them win a lot of games, but the pros still outweighs the cons for me. So it was good for them to have this tournament, and it should show you that it was a quality preparation. So good one for the team. They've seen their lapses now. Go back to the drawing board. What do you need to add? What are the players you need to? What tactics you need to employ? And how do they conserve their energy so that they won't fall off or fade off in the last quarter? Because that seems to be the problem for them. It happened 2 games in this qualifying series, and this is not forgivable on the world stage. Imagine it's a knockout game and you've gone toe-to-toe with your opponent up until the last quarter, and they just blow you away in the last quarter. So they need to find something to correct that, and I think they'll be fine at the Mundial.
All right, let's move swiftly away from the world of basketball and let's talk the UEFA Champions League of football. Amazing times to be alive when it comes to the world of football.
That's my answer, right, man.
But let's start off with a big one. Sporting CP broke, FK Bodo Glimt's heart with a remarkable fight back from a 3-0 first leg defeat, winning 5-0 after extra time, ending the game 5-3 on aggregate to book their place in the UEFA Champions League quarterfinal. It's the first time they have overturned a deficit of 3 or more goals to progress in a UEFA competition since 1963 and 1964. What a turnaround by Sporting CP.
Yes, that was a spirited performance. That is what you want. That is how you know it's a big boy. It's time for the Champions League. And for Sporting yesterday, they took the game by the scruff of the neck. That is how you do a comeback. If you want to get back into a game from a heavy defeat, and for me, I knew it wasn't all the teams that lost. They had 3 goal deficits from the first leg are going to actually go out. So, and it was the most likely, most favorable, most likely game to go into extra time. That Sporting, they didn't perform well away, and we knew. And in Norway, it was always tough for every team that has gone there this season. Had a bitter tale to tell when they came back from there. Bodo Glimt, yes, they had a very good competition, got into the round of 16, and records stood on the line for them to get into the quarterfinals, but I know they will take 1 or 2 from this and go back to the drawing board for themselves. But for Sporting, what a great performance. They just needed to take the game into extra time. That was what they needed. So that happened for them. Got the 3rd goal in second half, took the game to extra time and sealed the game completely before the game ended in extra. So great performance, absolute night of football in Champions
Beautiful. Arsenal progressing to the UEFA Champions League quarterfinal with a 2-0 last 16 second leg victory over Bayern Leverkusen, prevailing 3-1 on aggregate and extending their unbeaten run to 14 games across all competition in the process, winning 10 and 4 draws.
And we want to ask you the question from me. How did you feel? How do you feel? How do you feel about the results from
honestly speaking, I don't know what Arsenal are cooking this season, but I would just say that whatever it is that's working for Arsenal, please don't stop the momentum. Keep pushing, because I'm going to say once again, I'm going to say it again, Arsenal are not going to win the league. I mean the Premier League and also the UEFA Champions League.
With 9 points or 10 points,
I really don't care. I really don't care about the point. But talk to me about the victory. Eberechi is a fantastic goal. I think the magic worked. You know, remember we saw a video before the game that he saw his favorite footballer. I'm talking about the legend Romaro, and you know, he was excited and in shock. Maybe the hand and the magic worked for him with a beautiful goal. That's first UEFA Champions League goal.
That is not. He had a very beautiful goal yesterday.
Yeah.
Took the shot from about 40 or 45 yards out, and the keeper was just dumbfounded. Beautiful performance from Arsenal. They controlled the game, and that's what you want to see from them. I expected that in the first leg, but they were not able to do that in Germany. But now back at the Emirates, they showed class. Everybody expected them. They were the favourites to go through, and at the end of the day, Bayern Leverkusen were no match for Arsenal's strength. They shut out them and in the defence and took 2 beautiful goals. Rice still got a goal from the long-range effort as well. So it was just what we expected from Arsenal.
At least no set-piece goal.
No set-piece goal this time around. And for people like you, who keep asking the question, saying, yesterday they scored 2 goals from open play, and they are into the next round. At the face Sporting, that is also a team they are favourites against, in my own opinion. So good one for Arsenal and on to the next round for them.
All right, Paris Saint-Germain crushed Chelsea's hopes of UEFA Champions League last 16 fight back with a 3-0 second leg victory at the Stamford Bridge, 8-2 on aggregate, as the holders inflicted the Blues joint heaviest defeat in a 2-legged European title. Are you surprised I'm reading all of these?
I had to smile because the reaction on social media was out of this world, and I saw different reactions.
So I think one thing that favored Chelsea was the fact that the CAF story just crumbled because people wanted to really...
Yes, people were out. That's why I said the remontada we expected from them was what Morocco and can't give themselves. For Chelsea, it was a disappointing performance once again. Liam Reznor, no win in 4 now, 4 losses. Lost against Arsenal, lost against Newcastle, lost against PSG the first leg, 5-2. Now completed away from home 0-3. That's not the performance, and no red card this time around. So that is not. It was just the performance from Chelsea was just in shambles. Not what we expect from world champions or world champions that we call them. So PSG showed why they are current holders. They took the game by the scruff of the neck. Kvaratskhelia once again punished Chelsea. Bakola. Beautiful goals. As early as the 10 minutes, they were 2-0 up. So it just dashed Chelsea up. And Chelsea fans even left the game early. So that should show you how awful they were on the day. And the Sabi winners, PSG, they got their revenge for the World Cup final defeat. And Chelsea now, for them, decision to start Todd Bowley is looking dicey or shaky now. But what's his name?
Liam Reznor.
Maresca. Decision to sack him now is looking. This is becoming a pattern for Bluko and Todd Bowley. they had the problem with Thomas Tuchel, had the problem with Maresca. Now, are they going to have a problem with Liam Rezano? We don't know. But Liam Rezano doesn't look like the man to take Chelsea onto the next level.
Right, and let's move away from that. Real Madrid secured a safe passage to the UEFA Champions League quarterfinal, knocking Manchester City out of the competition for a third successive season, courtesy of a 5-1 aggregate triumph right there at the Etihad Stadium. Let's just move away from that and let's talk about the games to look forward to tonight. Yes, I know my time is fast spent. Let's just look at those games quickly. FC Barcelona against Newcastle, Bayern against Atalanta, Liverpool against Galatasaray, and we have Tottenham Hotspur against Atletico Madrid. Quickly.
Some games seem to be done there, but the talk of the night should be Barcelona against Newcastle at the Camp Nou and Liverpool against Galatasaray at the Anfield. Galatasaray won the first leg 1-0, slim advantage. When you come to the Anfield and it's Champions League night, you know that, but that didn't work for them in the weekend. Tottenham got a very late goal, so there's still some cracks in the defense that Galatasaray can go to. Victor Osimhen, champion to that. For Newcastle, they're going to Spain to face Barcelona. Barcelona won convincingly in the weekend. This is a different ground now, and this is the Champions League. We expect Barcelona to dominate, but I still feel Newcastle have something in their ranks. If they can exploit the island, the pace of Gordon, Elanga, and co is going to be key, and they need to take their chances. So it's just a beautiful game. Bayern Atlanta is done and dusted, 6-1 from the first leg.
Most likely, we might say 16-year-old goalkeeper.
So,
come on.
So that's done and dusted. And for Atletico and Tottenham Hotspur are not decided right now, but don't be shocked if Simeone...
we still have with Sporting. Okay. And also, we got an update from NFF. They are appealing. Definitely, we'll be back to talk about that.
We'll talk about it because there is a whole lot. FIFA also...
There's a lot of appealing going on currently.
Yes, but FIFA too are shady with the NFF decision as well. So when we get back tomorrow, we'll dissect that on the platter.
Amazing. All right, that's a wrap on the World of Sport update right here on Dominion Sport, on Dominion Television. From CAF ongoing controversy at the Champions League action, a learning curve for the Tigers, and the NFF response on the global stage. It's been a busy cycle in the world of sport. Do have a productive day. Stay safe and keep the passion for the game alive. I am Abe Portoluwanimi. I'll be back with more updates. Stay tuned and bye for now.